Hello everybody, it's Jen. Welcome back to another design team project for Not2Shabby. Don't forget to use coupon code JEN10 to save 10% off your entire order. So here's the card I'm making today using the Sweet Tea stamp set by Not2Shabby. This stamp set comes with a number of adorable little images as well as the word sweet and cool. So these images have these really cute faces on them, but today I thought I would alter the look of my stamps by doing some simple masking. So I'm just using some Post-it note paper here. This is full back adhesive and it comes on a roll. I'm just using my fingers here to break up the Post-it note paper so it fits in between the lines so that I'm just masking out the faces and not any other part of the image. I'm going to use my Versafine Clair Nocturne ink today. I'm going to be using my Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers to color up these images. So once you have your little masks down, you want to go ahead and stamp, and then you want to make sure you take the pieces of tape off of your images. I'm using my reverse tweezers here just because I don't want to smudge any of the ink on the lines. And you can see that that masks out the faces perfectly. Now I do love the little faces, but I thought it would be fun just to show you how you can get a different look from your stamps by doing some simple masking. So now that I have all of my images stamped out, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to color these, like I said, using my Zig markers. So I've stamped out my images on some Bristol Smooth cardstock. Typically when I use my Zig markers, I'll use some water for a watercolor look. Today I am just going to take my markers and I'm going to blend a darker color with a lighter color to do some quick and easy coloring for these images. I've just chosen a few brown colors for the iced tea. I will list all the colors that I use down in the description box below, as well as all the other products. I have the 60 set of the Zig markers, and I find that that gives me enough range in colors to do most projects that I want to do. So now that I have the picture of iced tea colored up, I'm going to go ahead and quickly color up the glass of iced tea. And then I'm going to color up this little carafe, or I'm not sure what the exact word for this would be, but it has the little spout so that you can easily pour out whatever is in your container into your cup. And today it is sweet tea. So using the exact same colors for this, now this is a bit of a larger area, so I did pull out that darker color quite a bit more. Now after I got all of these images colored up, I did go over the iced tea portion with a damp paintbrush and just kind of blend those colors together a little bit, but not blending it out enough that it would look like watercolor. For the glass areas, I'm using a light blue. I am going to bring in my paintbrush and some water just to spread that out a little bit. So I'm going to use my Ranger paintbrushes. I rave about these. They come in a multiple set for about $5 or $6 and they work fantastic. So I highly recommend these paintbrushes if you're looking for something economical. So I'm just going to go ahead and blend out that jar. I ended up getting my paintbrush in the brown area. So that smudged a little bit, but I just took some clean water, dabbed that on, and then used a paper towel just to clean that up a little bit. I did have to go over that area a couple times to get it up, but eventually it will come out, which is kind of the nice thing about the Zigs. They're quite forgiving. Just going to go ahead and do the little bubbles in the iced tea, and as well, I'm going to just do a little bit of shading on the ice cubes that are floating out of the liquid. For the spouts, I'm using a couple of gray colors, and then I decided to color this little image of a food. I feel like it could be a donut, a sandwich, whatever you want it to be. Today I'm going to color it up like a ham sandwich on a croissant was kind of what I was going for. So I'm going to lay down my lightest color just so it'll blend well, and then I'm going to bring in my darker color. Once I got this colored up, I felt like it wasn't quite dark enough, so you can see me here now. I did bring in a darker marker, and I like the look of that much better. Now, you can color the inside of your sandwich or your donut any way you want. I was going for a ham sandwich look. I just pulled out a pale rose and a pale pink to color that up. And to keep that pink color consistent, I decided to color all of the stars in that same pink color combination. I also chose to do the little leaf in the pitcher of iced tea as well in the same color for consistency. I really didn't want to bring in a green color on this card. So you can see there I had a little cat hair or something on one of the stars, and I rubbed that and it did smudge out of the lines, but that's okay because I'm going to be cutting these out by hand, and I'm going to cut them to the black line, so I wasn't too worried about that. For the little seeds on the top of our little sandwich there, I used some dark browns, and now I'm just using my Memento Tuxedo black marker to draw some lines. Here's the images cut out. I fussy cut those to the black line like I said, and I'm just going to outline all the images with my black marker. This gives a nice clean finish, and you never know that they were cut by hand. I did end up coloring the bottom of that container with some iced tea in it, and as well another star. So for my background pattern, I'm going to be using a piece of paper from the Echo Park Spring Fling 6x6 paper pad. This is a really pretty aqua color, and it has some daisies on the background. When I colored my images, I didn't quite know what I was going to do for the scene. So because there is yellow on the insides of the daisies, I thought I'd bring in my Distress Oxide in Mustard Seed and just add some soft blending to the back of my focal panel there, just to bring in some of that yellow because it didn't appear anywhere else on the card except for in the pattern paper. This is a very clean and simple card, pretty true to my style. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to adhere these images down to my cardstock. You can go ahead and pop some of these up on some foam tape or fun foam if you want, but I just went ahead and glued them all down with some liquid adhesive. So I'm just making sure that both of the containers of iced tea are equal distance apart from the sides of the little white rectangle that I cut out. I cut out both of those panels with some stitched rectangle dies. And I decided to put the little sandwich in the middle. I'm going to use these stars as a decorative element to add some more interest to the background of my card. And you can see here there's 3 to the left hand side, and I wanted to have an odd number, so I'm going to go ahead and put those to the right side. I brought out the Lawn Fawn Sweet Friends stamp set, and I'm going to use the sentiment that says "You're the sweetest." I thought that was a good play on words, seeing this could be sweet tea. So I'm just going to go ahead and stamp that out with my Versafine Clair Nocturne ink. This ink is amazing. If you've been watching me, you know that I've been raving about it. You get such a crisp image with one stamp, which I love, so I don't have to worry about bringing out my stamping tool all the time. I can just go ahead and use an acrylic block and get a perfect, crisp, clean sentiment. So to finish up the card, I'm going to add those stars, and then I'm going to go ahead and add my card panel here to my card base. Love that pretty flower paper on the back of the one that I chose for this card as well. Just trying to use up some pattern paper in my stash. I'm going to add some gel detailing here with my white Signo gel pen. Now I think this is drying up just a little. It wasn't giving me a smooth line for this first line that I did to the left of the large container of iced tea. I did have to go over it a couple times. You can rub the pen on your hand like I'm doing there, and it will just warm up the ink and allow it to flow better. I'm going to add some highlights to all of the images, which I think just allows them to pop really nicely. I'm going to go over that one line another time. And then I'm just going to add some little swirls inside of my stars for something a little bit different. Once I get that done, that will be it for the card today. So I hope you've enjoyed this card and how you can alter your stamps just a little bit by doing some simple masking. Thanks everybody for watching, leaving comments, and I will see you really soon in the next video. Bye!